Hey everybody, it's T-Mun and we're back with a new video. Haha, it's on JasonBlaha broski. Yep, gonna do a reaction video to our favorite gym lifting, recruiting, fitness gear slave. You know who, JasonBlaha. So, JasonBlaha says RPE in the gym is part of Generation Lazy. Haha, he's one to talk.
Everybody, it's JasonBlaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys and gals a little bit about a topic that I think is funny. It's a topic that came up when I was chatting with someone in a consultation, a video call, and it's someone I've done a couple of consults with, helping them out with some things. They're not a regular client, they're a regular follower, and this whole topic of RPE came up in my generation, and it's like he kind of laughed, and he's like, yeah, I mean, you guys all got big and strong 25, 30 years ago, before all this RPE stuff was on the internet. It's like, exactly. The first gym I trained at, there were at least 6 guys squatting 500 pounds, at least, that I knew, right? It was normal. And people got big and strong just fine without some of these programming ideas. It wasn't necessary, and it's still not necessary. I don't even believe in the RPE thing. Unless the RPE scale starts at 9 or 9.5, I don't think there's any point in it at all. We can just throw the whole thing away. It's complete nonsense. Like anyone talking about doing an RPE 7 single or double or whatever.
You know what? What is he talking about? I have no clue, man. I gotta tell you the truth. I don't understand any of these fake terminologies that Blaha comes up with, and a lot of these other so-called fitness influencers, bro. Bodybuilding is not that complicated. It is what it is. It works the way it's supposed to work. You understand me? It isn't all these weird things because you're trying to hide something, work around hiding the fact that you don't know how to build muscle. See what I mean? And yeah, you don't know how to build that type of strength. There are different strengths, sure. There's, calisthenics, strongman, this, that, whatever, powerlifting, bodybuilding, blah, 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 blah. There's all kinds of different ways of getting yourself strong at doing that specific thing that you're doing. You're strong at that. I don't know what people are strong at. But like I said, in bodybuilding, because since, Blah is doing bodybuilding, this is not bodybuilding. I don't know what he's doing. I have no clue.
Why are you wasting your time? That's just garbage junk sets. Don't even bother. Like, why are you wasting your time with that? That's called a...
I don't even know what RPE is. What's an RPE? What the hell is that?
Warm up. Okay, so you hit an RPE 7 single and then you put another 50 pounds on the bar, right? You see where I'm going with this? Like, no. Why would you waste your time?
No, I don't see where you're going with this. I don't understand anything you're talking about.
So, well, technique. There's no...
These are nice things you're throwing around, RPE and all that. Sounds very interesting, but at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is, can you produce? Can you produce? That's it. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter what job you go to or what you're doing in this world. Can you produce? See what I mean? Blaha cannot produce. He can only get skinny taking drugs.
Technique to that. It doesn't even carry over. And let me be clear. Nothing on your form under 90% carries over to your form on a max on the same exercise. Right? A box squat at 95% will carry over better to a back squat max than an 85% or an 80% rep will on the back squat, right? So in other words, if it's heavier, the box squat actually has better skill transfer than a slightly lighter back squat will. Why? Because it's totally different.
Skill? He calls that skill? Man. Bodybuilding is just about building your body big and strong. That's it. It's not about box squats, trying to do specific weird things. Again, it's not about performance. I told you, real bodybuilding is not about performance, bro. Real bodybuilding is really hard to accomplish. It is astronomically difficult to build your body big and strong. Man, I'm telling you. I think I spent like 4 hours today in the gym. It was crazy because I just wasn't done, because I started going after my weak points and then going on doing my strong points. But by the time I got to the strong points, I couldn't move the weights as good as I could when I normally what I would do normally. That's why my other parts got weak. So I'm focusing on OHP, bench press, all these other things that I know that are kind of not so strong there. So since I'm strong on all these other things, I just figured those two, I got to hit those two the hardest. That's it, basically. So I try to hit them as much as I can. Yeah. I think actually I hit it so hard today, my bones hurt. I could feel it in my bones. Shit.
There's no straining. It's not learning to brace under the heavy load. It's not increasing your neural drive. It's not doing any of that stuff. The muscles are not even used the same. And I don't think people grasp that when they get into these absurd ideas. It's bullshit.
Okay.
The muscles are not used at the same ratios at 80% that they are on a max. They are not. So on a squat, you do not use the same ratio of quad and glute on a lighter weight that you do with a truly heavy weight. The muscles are not even activated in the same percentages. Same thing on a bench with your pecs versus your triceps, all of that.
Oh, okay.
So why are you bothering? You're wasting your time. You're fucking around at the gym is what you're doing. We call it fuck around-itis.
That's what Blaha's doing. He's fucking around, man, in his garage, bro, with these weird weights, whatever the hell he's doing here.
All right. You know why people got big and strong when I was younger? Because
when you were younger, why they got big and strong? Did they get big and strong, or did they get better at lifting concentrically, but then they got fat?
We trained hard. That was it. We ate a lot of protein and we trained hard.
Let me get this straight. You ate a lot of protein and you trained hard. How the fuck can you get big eating a lot of protein and training hard concentrically? Blaha, you know what, man? Really, I know you're watching my videos, Blaha. You need to really reflect, dude. There's something wrong with you.
And I'm not saying programming doesn't have its place. I'm not saying structured training doesn't have its place. I coach a heck of a lot of it.
Oh yeah, sure.
I coach a lot of it. My bread and butter.
Yeah.
But this idea that, we should be coming in and doing really easy sets. Yeah, just don't even bother. Like, why are you even doing it? It's called junk volume. If you've got 4 reps in reserve, or you are doing singles at anything under 90%, like you're doing 1 rep sets that aren't at least a bare minimum of 90% of your max, you get, it's pretty much a negligible training response. Okay? So in other words,
there is a beautiful place.
Response. Okay? So in other words, if you can deadlift 500 pounds,
okay,
I'm gonna throw out a little light number like that.
Yeah.
And you come in and you do singles at 430.
And you have to deadlift 500. Why exactly? Why do you need to deadlift 500? Why can't you just get strong everywhere else? Why 500? See what I mean? What if you can deadlift 500, but everywhere else on your body is weak?
I don't care how many singles you do. It was a.
Have you seen the powerlifting compilation where these guys are lifting and tearing muscles off the bone and breaking bones? Like, come on, man. They're weak.
Wasted effort. You can come in and do 10 singles with that. Your training response is going to be nearly 0. Now, if you came in and did 5 or 6 reps on a single set with that, maybe 8 reps, that would count. 10 singles, nada. You just come in and do 485 for 1 rep and get more training response than you got out of those 10 singles. Okay. And probably beat you up less. So again, this is a waste of time.
His lifting is a waste of time. Blaha's lifting is a waste of time. Blaha, your lifting is a waste of time.
We just trained really hard. And that's something that someone brought up also, the idea of not doing every set to within 1 rep of
I think if I took Blaha and he came and worked out with me, I think he'd have a heart attack. He wouldn't make it. He wouldn't make it. He'd fucking die in the session. That guy told me that today. He said, holy fuck, you're still here 4 hours later. Bro, he said, your workout is brutal. He goes, those one-arm rows with all that weight. He goes, what the fuck? He goes, I went there and I tried to pull it. And he goes, my God, I couldn't move it. I go, you can move it. You just didn't put effort into it. He goes, no, I tried. He goes, it hurt my arm pulling it. I go, because you're not strong enough. You got to get stronger. You got to get bigger to get stronger. And then that weight will feel lighter. Get it? That's how it really works. It isn't get stronger, you get bigger. You get bigger, you get stronger. So you need to start with a weight that you're familiar with and work your way.
failure or to failure is a fairly new concept. And yet people got jacked and strong.
All that failure stuff, that's the new generation stuff. That's all based on failure because they're failing. Look, I can prove everything I say in my videos. That all these fitness gurus, fitness people, all they keep pushing are testosterons, creatines, carbohydrates to hypertrophy your muscles through inflammatory response, carbohydrates, creatine, and all these other crazy pills and everything. And then eventually the last resorts of like these fucking modulators, SARMs, and then steroids in the end when it's not working for you or whatever. This is insane. This is crazy.
Jacked and strong.
They don't know what builds muscle. That's their problem. They don't know. They just don't understand why people are not building.
Just fine. Just fine. Right? And that's the bodybuilders and the powerlifters. And again, I am not saying
It's not fine.
we shouldn't structure stuff, but again, people come in and they just half-ass everything. Right? They half-ass everything. The sets are not challenging.
Yeah, that's Blaha. He half-asses everything.
And that's not challenging. I'm sorry, guys, but anything when people are
I
talking.
mean, if you put me next to Blaha, I dwarf him, man. My shoulders right now, my arms, my shoulders, everything is fucking massive, bro. I've been like overloading the last 2 months. I just started the last 2 months and I just went directly into like eccentric overload exercises. That's it. I mean, I started slow in the beginning and then I just went all out in the end, the last month. I just look so fucking big. Like people looking at me in the gym, they're like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? They go, what are you doing? I go, I'm doing what you're not doing. And they go, what's that? Concentric lifting, I go. And then they don't understand that. They're like, what do you mean? I go, on everything that goes, weights that go down is what builds muscles, not what goes up. What goes up does not build muscles. What goes down does. And they're like, what do you mean? I go, when you squeeze your muscles, squeezing them, they don't build. They go, why not? Because they shorten. The sarcomeres shorten due to the force that you're pushing. So you're losing sarcomeres. It starts to shorten. Why? Because the force you're exuding, because it's an adaptation process. And so you get injured when you try to do eccentric exercises. When you try to do them, you get injured. You rip your muscles off the bone and everything. You get pec tears and all that kind of stuff because you're a concentric lifter. You've never really done eccentric. In eccentric, we do concentric in eccentric, but eccentric is more important so we don't get fucking injured. The whole premise is to get big and fucking strong, bro, get it? So you don't get fucking injured out there, okay? And be a weak motherfucking ass. See what I mean? That's the whole point of bodybuilding. Fuck.
About this RPE 7 or 8 or any of this, why would you do that? Just stay home. Don't even go to the gym. And if you're making any gains from it, it's because you're doing hypertrophy work afterwards.
What is that? What is hypertrophy work afterwards? What does that mean? I'm doing hypertrophy work. What does that mean exactly? I've never heard that before, ever growing up. Nobody ever said, hey, we're doing hypertrophy work. The only word I ever heard was get damaged. And people always emphasized damage the muscles, damage the muscles. do things you're unaccustomed to, unfamiliar forms and shit and all that. So they knew this. We knew this already. The older generation, bro. I don't know this fucking young generation. They don't fuck all.
Okay? You're coming in and doing work sets like that on your bigger lifts, and you gain any strength at all, it's probably because you did some leg presses close to failure afterwards.
What?
Right? It wasn't from your squatting or bench.
Sorry, I just got home from the gym. I'm still eating. Or I do this video.
You did some dumbbell work close to failure or to failure afterwards. It got your chest bigger. You got your quads bigger on some machine. That's why you got stronger. It wasn't from that.
Everything makes you strong if you lift. But what kind of strength are you talking about exactly? Fuck me, man.
They're silly nonsense. Okay?
This is silly nonsense, and there's many people like this that are brainwashed. Silly people, and they write silly comments in the comment section. Fuck. They're so dumb.
Notice when I'm doing singles there like that, that's relatively heavy. You think that's at least 90%? If it's not, then you're telling me I could squat more than 550 off that box right now as an old man. I don't think I can. So, that's at least 95%. Why? Because that's what we need to do. You can train like that every week. Let me state that again. I'm 48 years old.
So what? You're 47 years old. You're not 48 yet. Okay, then I'm 58, bro. Because I'm 57. I'm 58. Like you, going on 48. I'm going on 58. So I'm 10 years older than Blaha, man. If you stood me up next to him, trust me, I'm going to look younger than him, man. Just everything. I look better than him. Trust me, I look better than him, man, in every single way. He looks so old. He's aged the fuck out of himself.
I do lifts like that every week. That's a normal workout day for me. Like, what are you guys?
I have my hair. I have everything. Wow, my hair is a little bit long now. I got to cut it. Actually, I just did cut it. It was really, really, really long, like a surfer. Fuck. But I got to cut it again a second time because it's just shit, this haircut shit. But whatever. It's just super long. Blaha has no hair. And he has white hairs on his face. He's just so aged.
Doing. So really, the RPE scale should be 9 or 10. That's it. There should be no other numbers. And if you're using anything other than that, you're goofing off. It's complete nonsense. And
that's what he's doing. He's goofing off. Look at this. What is he doing here?
So again, ludicrous ideas that would have been laughed at in previous generations by people who were making real gains. Okay.
By people who were making real gains. They're not making any gains. That's why they're taking drugs. All your friends and your buddies and you, man. Get it? Because you don't know what builds muscles.
And yet when I give these strength standards, people tell me it's unrealistic. When I say, yes, normal guys should be able to bench 3.
See, here's what happens. They go in the gym. They were expecting to get big and strong. And they failed. It failed them, this concentric lifting, because it's not associated with muscle growth. And so they start pulling heavier and pushing heavier and heavier weight, right? They scream and they yell in the gym and they go, "Yahoo! Aha!" They pull off the floor, do all these weird things. And then they see a big guy walking by and they're like, fuck. The dream's dead right there. They get shot so fast. Like, I walk by with my 20-inch arms and they're like, they get silent all of a sudden, man. They just walk right by, bro. I don't give a shit that they could pull these kids can pull like something off the floor. I don't care. I can pull heavyweight too. I do eccentric deadlifts, like bodybuilding deadlifts. I don't do those kind of deadlifts. Lift it and drop it on the floor like an idiot. You don't know how stupid that looks, fucking. Deadlifting, lifting a weight and dropping it on the floor, bouncing it, dropping it, throwing it, whatever the fuck they're doing there, man. You don't know how fucking, bro. That shit makes me nuts. Oh, shit. I can't stand powerlifting. It's garbage.
300, squat 400, deadlift 500. If you're over 40 and you've been going to the gym.
You need the eccentric form. You need concentric, but you need eccentric more than you need concentric, believe me. If you want to get really strong, you need concentric, bro, behind your belt. So you do not get injured or fucking whatever. You need to get really brutally strong. And to get brutally strong, eccentric is the best because we always start with concentric, bro. Get it? We already get concentric, but we focus more on the eccentric because it's more important.
For years. Perfectly reasonable. And those are way below my numbers, so don't give me that crap.
You get physical adaptations in eccentric exercises. You do not get ultra-structural physical adaptations doing concentric exercises. Like I said, if anything, science will corroborate what I say. It's associated with a loss of sarcomere numbers in muscle fibers because you are pushing against gravity. So it's shortening to give you more force production. It's shortening to give you more force production. And if it's short, that means the contraction on the bone is very bad. So anytime you do something and you're still holding it or whatever, and you end up in a concentric contraction, you're going to get injured. You're going to get injured and end up in the hospital. They're going to be sewing your muscles back onto the bone or whatever the fuck they're doing there. It happens to everybody. It happened to all these guys, bro. All of them. They're all injured. They're all surgery. The Trent twins, the fucking, what's his, Callan Von Moger, his fucking knee, his bicep, everything. His whole career, just because of that, he jumped out windows and went crazy all of a sudden because he was basically falling apart. He's crippled. A lot of these people have crippled themselves because they have weak bodies, because they do not do eccentric lifting.
You're going to want to show that because you do it.
That's why Blaha has so many injuries, and he even talks about people, these lifters getting injuries. A lady today, she talked about, I saw a guy, he broke his back doing a deadlift. He broke his back, bro. It was a video on YouTube. Christ, how the fuck do you break your back? You have to be very weak to break your back. That's the problem. So you need to focus on eccentrics. You need to do bodybuilding deadlifts, not fucking powerlifting deadlifts. They suck. They weaken you.
So far above that. So don't even go there with me, guys. You just watch me do 500 off a box. That's harder than a back squat. Okay, so yeah. Ludicrousness. Generation lazy. That's what RPE is from. Generation lazy.
Generation lazy. It's Blaha's generation that is lazy. Wow, what are you talking about? You're lazy, bro. Look at you.
All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today.
He's like laughing. I don't get it, man. He's the laziest lifter I know on the internet. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends. It's crazy.